Our course name is Database Management System. And first, we will explain what is the course information all about, and then we will start with our course. First, the course code is ICD 501. Database Management System would be the name of our course. This course is initial. It was supposed to be 4 hours, 2 hours lecture and 2 hours lab. However, due to this circumstances, all the classes are online. We will start with the online classes. Of course, we have a video recorded and I uploaded it for you in the system. We will take a look at it. And we will have these online sessions. Once we finished our online session, if there was something in the class or the slides that had not been finished, it would be your responsibility to watch the video. And in case you have any question in the next session, you may ask. Now, the outcomes at the end of this course, you should be able to first analyze the challenges and solution related to database management systems and technologies. Our second outcome, hopefully, would be construct fundamental and advanced structure query languages, query language statements to perform a database definition, query manipulation, and control. Then third outcome would be display lifelong learning skills in tasks related to database management systems. Now, as a description for the course, this course introduced the relational model and relational language to be applied in DBMS development. It emphasized to it emphasized the importance of a database design in business application and also adapt the emerging technologies that suit a specific business. An appreciation of a DBMS function is studied the concept and designs associated with the transaction management, distributed DBMS, and data warehouse technology are also emphasized. Now, the references would be Abraham and Henry Carth and database system concept. This is the 7th edition, one of the our references. And the textbook would be Carlos Carlin and Stephen Morris, database system design and implementation management. And our assessment, we will have 3 assessment, and the total of these 3 assessment would be 100, 40, 40, and 20. Our first assessment would be final assessment 1 and final assessment. Test 1 will cover chapter 1 to 6 and lab lessons 1 to 5. However, for now we don't have any lab lessons or in-campus lessons, so we will try to explain in a video. Then we will have a final test, and that final test would be 30% of the mark and cover all chapters. As an explanation for you, test 1 marks will be returned to students. However, the final test mark will not be returned to the student as it is equivalent to the final examination. So just keep it in mind that I will give you back your scores for the test 1. However, for the final test, you will not get it from me. You will get it from the HOD or the Dean office. Now, assessment 2 would be exercise based on a lab lectures and a lab test. Due to, again, the circumstances, we may change this assessment, this 20% of 20% mark. And then we will have assessment 3, which would be a group project, 4 to 5 students per group. However, due to your number, we may make it to 5 to 6 students. It will worth 40% of the mark. And how will you get a full mark, 40%? First of all, on week 6, you will have your project proposal. You should submit a proposal in which consists of a company background, problem statement, objectives, ERD, and 3NF relational schema, attached video picture in an interview session, and present the proposal. Of course, you'll also have a final project presentation, which will worth 5 marks. on week 14. However, we will change the weeks. It might be week 12 because due to this situation, we may have less weeks. Then final project database system will worth 10% of the mark on week 12. Again, not 14 because this one is at the time that we will take 17 lectures or 17 weeks. However, it will not be 17. Maximum it would be 13 to 14. So we will make it at week 12. And a final project report will worth 15 marks. So this 15 mark and with this 10 mark would be 25 and this 5 would be 30 and then this 10 would be 40 marks or 40% of the mark, which ultimately would be 40 marks. Now this would be your project. Please read through, and in case you had any problem you may contact me. Now how about the weeks, or what would be the content of this class? For each week, we will take some classes, some topics will be explained, and this is the topics that will be explained in this week. First of all, today, after finishing this course information or this file, we will begin with our class. It would be Introduction to ICT 501 Database Environment, and especially database characteristics, feature of database, the development of a database technology, 3 schema architecture, organization, and impact of a database technology. Just as a small reminder for you guys, these topics from 1 to 6, they are all been covered before as it is mentioned in here. And we will have a lab which it would be your job first to search and watch on YouTube for Oracle Apex. We will use Oracle Apex. And for this week, we will not do anything about the lab. Hopefully in the next week, we will start with our videos and we will upload it for you through our YouTube channel, which I already shared the link, the first video link with you in the module. Then this course information is not been updated for the last year. Last year, 31st of March was special break and it was Eid al-Fitr as it's mentioned in here. However, on week 2, we will proceed with the relational model and basic concepts, integrity rules, delete and update action for reference, and rows. Now, make sure that by next week you would give me your project member's name. Basically, it should be 5 to 6. We will try to make it 5 and then we will see. Then on week 3, we will have data modeling with entity relationships model. And this would be the entity relationship model, the extended entity relationship model, developing ER diagram. Then in the video, we will try to explain restricting and sorting the data. Then week 4 would be normalization. What is the normalization? What is the purpose of normalization? What is data redundancy and update anomalies? Developing ER diagram, the process of normalization, which we will have 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF. Then the lab would be using a single row function to customize output. On week 5, transaction management. What is transaction management and what do we mean by it? And basic database transaction, concurrency control with lock-in methods. And our lab would be using conversion function and conditional expressions. Now we will go on with the weeks, and week 6 would be transaction management. Week 7 would be assessment 1 or your test 1. And on week 8, distributed DBMS. On week 9, distribute DBMS, continue it. Then on week 10, data warehouse, what do we mean, and the need or data analysis. And week 11, data warehouse, continued. Then on week 12, emerging technologies. We may change this structure, however, we will tell you in 1 or 2 weeks in advance if we change the structure of the weeks due to the situation and If the classes started on campus, of course, there will be some changes. However, you should know that by week 12, you should be ready for presenting your projects. Now, I have shared this document with you in the module. There are some good references for normalization chapter and for 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, BCNF, which would be the week 4. However, I shared with you this one, lab lessons, and this is the playlist of the YouTube that I recommend to watch. It's about Oracle Apex, and it is by Caleb Curry, and Oracle Apex series by Oracle Apex by itself.